Okay, guys, this is our Monday night meetup. Thank you guys for being on. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as usual to help me stay on point. So, tonight is overcoming fear and doubt. That is what we're going to talk about. Because in this business, I mean, really in life in general, fear and doubt kill more dreams than anything else. And I would bet that it is what is holding you back from the success that you want in your Plexus business, right? It's not your network. It's not that you don't know enough people. It's not that nobody comments on your Facebook posts. It's fear and doubt. So, the good news though is that we all face these types of challenges. We all have fear and doubt. We all are going to fail. We all, at some point in our Plexus journeys, our network has stopped growing, or people are quitting, or, I've sent gross messages before. Like, we all fail. But the best news is that so has everyone else that has been successful. In fact, massive failure happens before major success. So, tonight we're going to talk about how to overcome that doubt and fear, and to really expect those challenges and expect that failure. Because if you expect it, even if you seek it out a little bit, then you are going to be a lot more prepared and on less of an emotional roller coaster in your Plexus journey. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Next Monday, guys, I hope you can all be on, because we are going to be talking about how to talk about Plexus and how to close, and like how to sell Plexus, like the nitty gritty. So Amy Morton's going to lead that one, but none of that, what she's going to teach you, matters if you have self-doubt and this fear. So we got to get this under control. Then we can get focused on the how that she's going to talk about on Monday. So take a deep breath. You're going to start wherever you're at your Plexus journey. You're going to trust yourself that you can do this. Because here's the thing. Do you know why it seems like only a small percentage of people make it to the top? And I'm not even talking about Plexus. I'm talking about in other businesses. There's only a couple couple of high-level executives. In sports, not every little leaguer is going to make it to the major leagues, right? It really doesn't have anything to do with talent, though. If you look at those people and you look at their journeys, okay, it has to do with their self-belief and with their grit. So I want you to ask yourself, do you have belief in yourself? Okay. Because if you already have it, hang on to it. We're going to talk about how to hold on to it tonight. If you've lost it, we're going to talk about how to rebuild it. I lost my self-belief when I did not hit diamond a few years ago, and I will tell you what happened. Because I was holding on to this vision of hitting diamond, and then I did not hit that, my brain turned that failure into a roadblock to everything else I was doing. Okay. And you might be there. Maybe your self-belief is hung up on this rank that you have in your head. So for me, you know what I had to do? I had to take down all the diamonds that were in my office, except that one back there. I just realized, still up there. All the other ones I took down because I had associated that daggone diamond with failure because I hadn't hit it. And it was affecting my self-belief, right? So are you excited when you think of your Plexus business, or are you frustrated when you think about your Plexus business? Because listen, you can put in the chat where you're at right now today. I've been both of these today. Okay. There's no right answer. You are going to feel both, right? This is like any other business. You are going to have amazing excitement at times where you sit down to work and you are loving it. People are ordering. People are sending you messages. They're thanking you for helping them poop. They're thanking you for the reset. They're thanking you because they don't have any more migraines. Okay. And you're going to be frustrated too, because the person who you can get rid of their migraines just quit, right? Or you just lost some points, or the person turned off their subscription. Being a business owner is a giant bag of emotions, but the trick is learning how to deal with them and how to control how you feel. And I know some people be like, well, Amy, like you can't really control your emotions, right? Like you got to feel it. What I mean though is if you are assigning that emotion as a fact toward your self-belief, right? So if you are feeling crappy because someone quit and you take that as a fact and that you are crappy at this business, okay, then you will behave differently than if you see that frustration as an expected part of your journey and an expected feeling, okay? Because success is not final. It's not like all of a sudden, Amy all of a sudden hit Emerald. It's not like she quit having failures after that, or people all of a sudden on her customers quit quitting all of a sudden, right? Failure is also, though, not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. That's from Winston Churchill. So we're going to play a quick trivia game. And it's going to be Guess Who? And I want you guys to type your answers in the chat. Oh, sorry. We're going to play after this slide. Do you get nervous asking people to buy Plexus? Because sales are nothing more than a value exchange. This goes along with kind of your belief and that fear, right? If you get nervous about asking people to buy Plexus, next Monday, Amy's going to tell you how to ask people to buy Plexus. She's going to give you all the methods. But if you don't get over the fear that we're going to talk about tonight, all the tricks that she gives you and all the training she gives you isn't going to matter, okay? Okay, so here's the Guess Who. Guess who did not speak until they were 4 years old? Guess whose parents labeled them to be subnormal? This is a while ago, so it may not be the language you'd use today. Guess who was expelled from school and labeled as mentally slow? And because of that label, experienced failure after failure after failure. Does have any idea? Let's see the chat. Yes, you guys are on it. That's right. It's Albert Einstein. We would never now associate him as a failure, right? But what if he had taken those labels and made that his self-belief? Okay. What if he had taken that person on Facebook who says network marketing is dumb and you shouldn't be selling Plexus as your self-belief? Okay. Here's the next one. You guys are going to know this one before I even read it. Who was unemployed, divorced, raising a daughter on Social Security, who had her novel rejected by 12 different publishing houses? Yep. Couple different. You got it? It was J.K. Rowling. If you guys aren't familiar, she is the Harry Potter author. Harry Potter, oh my goodness, like, especially if you're a Potterhead, you know all the Harry Potters, all the books, all the movies. But I want to stop here for a second before I got a couple more Guess Who's. Because what if she had stopped when the 5th publisher rejected her book? Can you imagine not having Harry Potter? Oh my goodness. Another one that I know, because I know her personally, is Patricia Cornwell. She's an author that also had her book rejected by 10 publishers, and they all told her main character, Scarpetta, must be a male. She's a multi-million-dollar best-selling author. What if she had stopped after the 5th publisher? Okay. But they didn't. J.K. Rowling didn't. Okay. And I mention this because so often you guys hear us talk about in Plexus and in sales, it takes 7 to 12 touches before somebody's going to buy Plexus. Okay. Be like J.K. Rowling. Don't quit after the 8th touch. What if it's that 13th touch? What if it's that 13th submission by the publisher? Because here's the thing. J.K. Rowling knew people would love Harry Potter. She knew she had something amazing. It was her belief that she had something good to give to people. She had decided that no matter what, she was going to be successful. She was going to see it through. Okay. So if you've not been through something like that and you're frustrated in your Plexus business, are you frustrated by your results or are you frustrated by your lack of action? Because I tell you, when I get frustrated in my business, other than being frustrated because like somebody quit right on themselves, my frustration, when I really think about it, is me. Okay. So here's another one. Who had 3 failed businesses and 7 failed presidential campaigns before he became president? Man, Jamie is on the trivia tonight. Yeah, that's Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. What if he had decided not to run for president because he had done it 7 times before and he failed? What if you have someone who wants to be a jewel in plexus, but you stopped talking to them about the opportunity because they said no 5 times? What if on that 6th time, if I told you they were going to jump in with both feet and run with you on this, if you knew that, would you follow up with them? Of course you would. We all would. So why are we doing it? Because we're afraid they won't, right? Why are we doing it? Because we're afraid they won't. And then the last one, you guys probably know this one. She was abused as a child, fired from her job as a TV reporter, and told over and over and over again that she was unfit for television and would never be on national TV. Yeah, Amy, yeah. Amy's right? I said, what if Sarah Taylor had quit asking me to join Plexus on the 8th time? I wouldn't be here. You're right. That's Oprah. What if she had quit on the 5th time, right? After I joined Plexus, I told my sponsor, do not talk to me about this business. I want nothing to do with it because I thought y'all were crazy. What if she had listened to me? What if after I told her the 3rd time I'm not doing this business, she had stopped presenting the opportunity to me? I wouldn't be here. I'd still be commuting to an office, complaining about my job, looking for something else to do, right? So the only difference though between us and them and the other people at the top of the company or the people at the rank you want to be is that they've just decided to fall in love with the process and be okay with failing. Amy Morton's a great example of this. The minute she decided to be totally okay with putting herself out there and talking about the business opportunity, even if people laughed at her or told her no or ignored her, that's the minute she started getting people to share the business, right? The minute I decided I was okay with making a fool of myself, putting myself out there, and feeling kind of dumb as I did it, I was crazy successful. So you just have to tell yourself, you're going to fall in love with this too. You're going to be totally okay reaching out to that person and them laughing at you. Okay? Because if you're okay with it, then when they don't, then you're really going to be excited about it, right? Because failure is not the opposite of success. A lot of people think, especially if you're an ambitious person, ambitious people think failure is the opposite of success. And they actually think quitting is not failure, okay? But that's actually wrong. And even though we hate failing, failure is just one of the most important steps to success, okay? Here's a question. Put it in the chat. Would you go on this hike? I would not. This hike looks dirty and dusty and like there's no scenery. I'm like, I'm going to get dirt in my feet. Like, looks very sweaty. I would not go on this hike. Show me this picture. You're like, are we going to do this? I'm like, I'm out. I'll see you guys back at the hotel. Okay. Maybe some of you guys would. Amy probably does. She loves all those red rocks, right?
I think I did go on a hike just like that.
Okay. I would not. I'm honest. Like, you show me this, I'd be like, nah, nope. That looks, I don't like it. Looks too hot and sweaty. Where's the trees? Okay. But what if I told you that this was the destination? What if I told you this was at the end of that gross, dirty hike? Right? Would that change your mind of going on that hike? If you knew from the beginning this was the destination, it would have changed my mind 100%. I've been like, oh, that's where I'm going? Sign me up. I'm there. That hike looks easy. No problem. Right? And this is a legit hike. We've done this. This is a green sand beach in Hawaii. Okay. But it's why it's so important then for you guys when it comes to your plexus journey to have a realistic picture where you're going. Because if you know exactly where you're going, then the fear and the self-doubt and all the stuff that comes along the journey that is dusty and hot and sweaty is worth it. Okay. If you knew, if I could promise you that you would be whatever your goal is, a senior gold or an emerald or a diamond, if I could promise you that would happen, would it change the work you do tomorrow in your Plexus business? Of course it would. Of course it would. You'd be like, what? Oh, I'm going to be a jewel. All right. I'm going to message that person then. I'm going to talk to them about this business. Okay. So know where you're going and it will change what you're doing today. You got to get crystal clear. Okay. But you got to realize that the beginning of your journey is going to look like this. Okay. Nobody starts Plexus on the pretty green sand beach. We all start up here where it's dusty and there's rocks and it's bumpy and it doesn't look pretty. Okay. It's like having a baby. You're right. I think Christina did say this on I think maybe the Motivation Monday a couple weeks ago. No one is surprised that having a baby hurts. Nobody. We all know that childbirth hurts like the dickens, but we also all know it's worth it. And this business is no different. It's hard. We should all know that, but we should know it's going to be worth it. But you only know it's worth it if you know where you're going. Okay. So have a realistic picture of your journey. Where are you going? Okay. For me, mine was crystal clear. I wanted out of that commute. That was it in the beginning. Get out of that commute because it was killing me. For those of you who don't know, I was in the car for 1 hour every single day. And on both ends. I would leave happy from my home or my office, and my destination, I was always grumpy. I was crystal clear that this Plexus business, I wasn't going to do it full time. I was crystal clear in that. I was crystal clear that if I could make enough that I could quit my job and get out of that commute, and then I had time to find something else on my own time and wouldn't have to take a big cut to the family budget. Crystal clear. Okay. Then once that happened, then I got crystal clear. For me, I wanted the car and I wanted to go to Hawaii. And I got so crystal clear on it, I could picture myself driving the Lexus in my family's hometown in little teeny tiny Chillicothe, Ohio. Crystal clear. I could see it. So where are you going in your Plexus journey? Okay. So how do you fuel your belief? Because like I talked about at the beginning, we're going to have some great trainings and we've got all the hows. Nicole put an awesome message in the team chat earlier on how to tell people about the opportunity. We've got the action sheet we shared last week on what to do every day when you've got like 10 or 15 minutes to work your business. Okay. And you guys look for that stuff. We all look for that stuff. We want to know what's the best. Give me a good reset post. Give me a good reply to this. Hey, what's a good message? Okay. But if you don't get real focused on where you're going and on this right here, your self-belief, none of that really matters. Okay. You're just going to be going through the motions. Because when you really believe that you can do this business, when you really believe you're going to be senior gold, you are going to be on that ruby tree, you are going to be a jewel next year. When you really, truly believe it, the how takes care of itself. Okay. Because when I got really clear that I was getting out of that commute, I knew I was going to use Plexus to get out of my commute. Nobody could tell me different. Nobody. But don't ask me how. I had no idea how. No clue. But I knew it was going to happen. That's the type of clarity you need to fuel that self-belief. Okay. And it comes from a solid mindset, solid actions, and solid relationships. And here's the thing about the solid mindset and actions and relationships. These are all things that you control. We cannot train on it. Nobody can. Okay. Great training today. If you guys were on it with the Rainies, such a good training. They're amazing. They can't even help you with the mindset and the actions and the relationship. Okay. It's all up to you. So you got to focus on your why. And I know we talk about this a lot in network marketing. And I don't mean, kind of like, I mean why you're doing this, but not like that network marketing got to make you cry thing. Okay. I want to know why you're doing it. Why do you show up on the calls every week? Okay. Why are you sharing plexus? Why are you putting yourself out there? Okay. Because again, 8 years ago, I got crystal clear on why I was doing it. Crystal clear. Know where you want to go. I don't care what it is. Okay. Doesn't have to make you cry. Getting out of my commute didn't make me cry. Staying in my commute made me cry. Okay. The pain of the change, doing this crazy plexus thing that I had never done before, was way worse. I mean, the pain of was way better. The pain of doing plexus was way easier than the pain of staying in my commute. Okay. The pain of quitting when plexus got hard was way better than the pain of my old job. Okay. But that was my pain. So if you need to figure out what's the reason you started sharing this opportunity. What's that pain point? Because if that is not greater than the pain of your frustration in your business, then you will quit every single time. And sometimes we lose that. I lost it. I lost why the heck I was doing this. Okay. Especially over the last 2 years. But now I am crystal clear again on where I want to go. And the pain of showing up every day in my plexus business and talking to people again about the opportunity, the pain of that is way easier than the pain of staying where I am if I don't do that. Okay. So know where you want to go. And then address your inner critic. Guys, that fear and that self-doubt, we got to start talking back to her because she don't know what she's talking about. Okay. When she's got you second guessing a message you sent, when she's got you second guessing an answer, or when you're afraid to call someone on the phone and talk to them about plexus, that's fear. That's her like rearing her ugly head. Okay. You can talk back to her. You can stop listening to her. Okay. We could do that. Okay. Address that inner critic. And then affirm yourself, right? Affirmations, keep in the habit. It's easy to get out of them, but no one is going to be your biggest cheerleader than you. I tell Adelaide that all the time, right? Like no one is going to be her biggest cheerleader other than her. Now, her mama, I am a close second, but guess what? I ain't always going to be there. So when she's under my roof, I am cheering her on. I am her biggest cheerleader, but I want her to know she's got to be her own cheerleader. When she goes to that theater, and when I sent her in for that rehearsal, I told her, I said, listen, you've got to be the best Adelaide in that theater. Don't try to be like the girl going for the lead. Okay. Be the best Adelaide. You have got to be the best you, and you have got to tell yourself that. And you have got to quiet that inner critic that tells you you're not going to be this rank, or you can't do this, or people won't want to join you. Okay. And then solid actions build your belief. It trumps intention every single time. I saw this thing on Instagram. I think it was Instagram, where somebody said that, did you know we judge other people on their actions? So we judge others on what they did or did not do, but we judge ourselves on our intention, not our actions, right? So like we don't judge ourselves if we didn't work our plexus business today because we time blocked it and we meant to, we just got busy, right? I meant to have a call with Jamie today, but the theater got crazy and I had to run down to the theater. Okay. Well, I still didn't have a Zoom with Jamie. Okay. I still didn't do that action. Okay. Granted, it was an emergency thing, but judge yourself on the action, right? Not the intention. Okay. And make the hard decision. This is a big one for me. I really kind of get into management mode and I put aside like the reading of things or doing the hard things that I know will compound over time. Okay. The winning day. We have it. We shared one last week in the text. It's even easier. It's simpler. It's like 3 things you do every single day or 5 things you do every single day. But we don't do them every single day, because we don't make that hard decision. It's actually an easy decision. It's easy to do it and it's easy to not do it. Okay. But what do you want the result to be on the end? Or one thing I asked myself, look, I wish I could show you this stack of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 books right here next to me. Okay. 15 books, all personal development. When's the last time you've read 10 pages a day of John Maxwell? When's the last time I picked up one of these books and read 10 pages every day? Okay. I don't. Why? Because that 10 minutes of reading is not going to do anything for me today, right? It's not going to change my life. It's not going to help my business. But if I did 10 pages every single day, the compounding of that would certainly change my business and make me a better leader and make me a better business owner and make me a better support for my clients. Okay. So do those actions, make those hard decisions and pour into yourself. And then think about, what are you excited to learn about? I mean, is it gut health? Is it whatever? Is it being a leader? Is it growing as a business owner? Maybe what you want to learn about. I want to learn about rock climbing. We're into rock climbing now. Totally brand new. Have never done rock climbing before in my life. Up until Adelaide went to camp, had never stepped foot inside a climbing gym. Now I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to learn about it. Okay. So I'm going to start talking about it. I'm going to share about it. You have to always be willing to learn and do things in action. And then if you do, you're always going to have something to talk about. If you picked up that John Maxwell book and you read 10 pages a day, keep it in your bathroom. When the bio cleanse kicks in, pick up your John Maxwell book, read 10 pages. You would have something to talk about. You would have something to post about. You would have something to share and add value to other people. And especially if you're like, man, I can't attract any business builders, or I can't keep any business builders with me. I can't get anyone to catch that vision. Great. Start reading 10 pages of John Maxwell and then go tell these people what you're learning in John Maxwell. Okay. Another big one for your belief and your fear are solid relationships. Okay. And one of these can be hard, removing negativity. And I mean everything from unfollowing on Facebook. Boy, we did that a couple Mondays ago, didn't we, Amy? We went through and unfollowed all these people that are like Plexus people that we're friends with, but not really friends with, right? It wasn't negative, but we removed a lot of people from our feed that we don't want to see. Okay. Do the same thing with negativity. I am so quick on the unfollow button now. I don't care if they're a Plexus Diamond. If they post anything that makes me feel bad or feel negative or compare or anything, unfollow. Remove negativity, okay? And have some firm boundaries with people that may be negative toward your Plexus business. I don't care if it's your parent or a spouse or a cousin or that person from high school you're on Facebook with, you're friends with on Facebook, okay? If they are negative about your business, even if they've always been allowed to be that way, you get to decide what's allowed. You can put up a firm boundary and say, listen, I am doing this. I don't want any negativity about it. Let's just not talk about it, okay? Because I'm doing it, okay? And if you put in those firm boundaries, most of the time, they will respect those firm boundaries. There's a girl that I was friends with. In fact, she's like one of my dear, dear friends, is the godmother to her children. Okay. This woman is awful when it comes to network marketers. Awful. She posts the most hateful things on social media. Awful, awful stuff. That's uncalled for. Mean stuff. Well, because we have that really good mutual friend, I kept her in my network, right? Because like, gosh, we see each other. Well, finally, no, hard boundary. I unfollowed her. And I finally told my friend, I said, listen, I know you love her and I respect, but I cannot be around her and her presence and that energy because she is so mean to my industry. And guess what? She understood. She's like, hey, I get it. Like I don't know what her deal is, but I get it, right? So remove negativity and then just start encouraging others, right? Just like you would encourage your kids. I know you tell your kids or the kids you teach or your friends or your family, right? If you don't have kids, your family, you encourage people. You encourage others that they can do it, okay? Do more of that because here's the trick. When you encourage other people, your brain actually thinks that it's you. You can trick your brain into believing that, oh, well, yeah, I keep telling Betty that she can totally hit Ruby and add 10 people by the end of September. Well, I can do that too, right? Telling Betty she can do it. Well, I can do it with her. We can do it together. Start encouraging others. It's the best way to get out of a business slump and to get into action is start encouraging people. Okay. Doesn't even have to be about plexus, right? Just encourage people. Okay. Because those three things, mindset fuels your self-belief. That's the fuel for it. That's what gets it fired up. Action. Oh, there's a typo. I'm sorry. That drives me nuts. Your actions, the things that we do in our plexus business builds that belief. Okay. If you want to believe that you are going to be a Ruby, sending messages to people about plexus is going to build your belief that you're going to be a Ruby. Okay. Talking to people who order the reset about how they can get their products paid for is going to build your belief in this business. Okay. And then relationships, who you have in your head and in your circle, protect that belief, because nothing kills that belief more than that negative Nancy out on Facebook who is hateful to network marketing, or that person who's in your family who thinks you're crazy for leaving your job or thinks you're stupid for doing network marketing. Okay. So protect your belief by having those relationships. Okay. And then the best thing you can do is invest in yourself, because if you are not investing in yourself, all this awesome stuff that Amy's going to train on next Monday on how to talk to people about plexus and how to answer questions and how to close the sale and how to sell plexus, none of that will matter if you're not investing in yourself, right? Because you can't, it's the old adage, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can have the perfect message and the perfect post, but if it's empty behind it, if there's no belief and it's full of fear and self-doubt, then those actions don't matter. Okay. I gave an example. Been in a rut past couple of years. You guys, I've talked about it. I decided I need to start doing a healthy habit. I need to wake up in the morning and start walking. And Adelaide lost her mind. She could not fathom me not being there in the morning when she woke up. Well, guess what? Too bad, sister. I had to do it for me. Because I couldn't walk after she woke up. Like, are you kidding? It's a crapshoot once the kid wakes up. I had to get up and do it before anybody else woke up and the day started. Okay. Well, guess what? Too bad, because her mom needed to invest in myself. I was in a deep spiral rut, and I knew that if I could get up in the morning and just move my body, okay, then everything else would follow. The compound effect of that would follow, and it has. But had I let her dictate my action, I wouldn't have done it. She was so upset. She did not want, and I, finally had to tell her. And now she was at a slumber party over the weekend, and you know what? She texted me on Sunday morning. She got a phone now. First thing she texted me when she woke up: "Did you go for your walk, mommy?" Yeah, I did, kiddo. Yeah, I did. Now she sees mommy as investing in herself, right? She doesn't see it as like, oh my gosh, mommy's not there when I wake up in the morning. No, I'm showing her that I'm investing in yourself is good. Okay. So invest in yourself. Okay. All right. Here's the call to action, because we want to get this good before we really get into a lot more of that action training here in the next few weeks on like hitting those goals and getting to Ruby and earning the retreat, or even if it's not the retreat that's your goal, getting to senior silver, getting to gold, whatever that looks like. Okay. Create a daily discipline to grow. Okay. Read the book, not the whole book. Read 5 pages a day, read 10 pages a day, listen to a podcast. One thing I started doing, I had to cut back on my murder podcast a little bit. Okay. Because even though I love them, and I kind of feel like I'm allowed to listen to more murder podcasts because I've written a couple crime scene books. Like, I feel like I'm like an insider. That still, I have to protect my space. Those aren't never good, feel good stories, right? So even though I love them, and I did it for, several years, working with CSIs, listening to those podcasts on my walk, still not protecting my space. Okay. So I had to switch those out to some good podcasts, to the Kristen Bosses, right? To the good growth, to the John Maxwell's. Listen to those people. Okay. So create a daily discipline to grow, whatever that is for you. Read 10 pages a day when you're in the bathroom. Listen to 10 minutes of a podcast, because it's the compound effect. No one is going to sit down and read a whole book. Nobody has time for that. But you can read 10 pages a day. Okay. You can read 5 pages a day, and that compound, just like my walking. Okay. Walking is not changing my life that day. But man, I've been doing it now since March, and the compound effect of that is pretty awesome. Okay. Communicate with someone to hold you accountable, right? We all know this, whether it's your sponsor, whether it's a friend, hold you accountable. I let everyone know I was walking every morning. If you follow my stories, you see my feet on the pavement for 15 seconds every single morning. That is me communicating with you, all of you, everyone that follows me on social media, to hold myself accountable. So I keep on those walks, because in the beginning, I did not want to get up and walk, right? In the beginning, you may not want to reach out and talk to somebody about Plexus. You may not want to send that dream teamer a message about this opportunity and why they'd be so good at it. But if you tell someone you're going to do it, right, you're going to be more accountable. Okay. And then stop avoiding the actions. When I get in a funk, I am a master of avoiding the actions. I make the PowerPoints, I go live on the team page, I make YouTubes, I organize my files, I print stuff out, I write in my planner. But I don't sit down and do the winning day and actually message people about Plexus, or actually check in with customers, or actually follow up with that person for the 9th time. Okay. Stop avoiding the actions and stop being afraid to fail. Get okay with failure. Get okay with looking like a fool when you talk about Plexus. Get okay with vomiting Plexus. We all do it. It's part of the journey. You cannot be successful in Plexus until you do some of these failures, until you vomit Plexus on somebody, until you send a gross message. It's like you got to get all these failures out before you can get successful. So let's just hurry up and let's get them all out. But the only way to get them out is to do the action. Okay. If you're sitting there like me, sometimes you're in your planner and you're highlighting and you're writing all the stuff and you got your calendar and you're on the team calls and you're all engaged, but you're not actually talking to people about Plexus, you're not actually following up people. Okay. Then we're avoiding those actions, and then we're avoiding that failure. And that means we're avoiding success. Check the chat, because that is all I have for you guys tonight. Compounding effect. Block, unfollow, snooze. Love it. All right, guys. Thank you for being on. I'm going to open it here. We went over. Dang it. I do that every time. If you guys have anything, drop it in the chat. If not, I will put the recording up. And real quick, because we're supposed to always talk about what's coming up next. The team calendar was posted. We have some events this week. Tomorrow is our new daytime working session. It's on Tuesdays now. I know we keep changing it, but now that school started, it's on Tuesday afternoons, like a lunch and learn. Thursday night, we always have events for your potentials. And then next Monday's meetup, Amy Morton is going to host on how to close and how to talk to people about Plexus. But if you're not there yet on all this stuff tonight, sit down, get crystal clear, remember, on your vision, why the heck you're doing this, where you want to be, and start doing some of those actions. All right, guys. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you, Amy.